Hi, and welcome to Voice with Julia. Today, I want to talk to you all about tongue tension and the epiglottis.
Voice with Julia, change your voice, change your life.
So, today I would like to talk to you all a little bit more about tongue tension. What is tongue tension? Well, tongue tension is when the tongue gets hard or rigid when you're singing. These are not good scenarios. So some people like to say, oh, if I put my tongue in this position, if I keep my tongue down by my bottom teeth and sort of let my tongue sit nice and up, then I don't have tongue tension. Well, that may or may not be true. There's a couple things I want to look at today, and we're going to dive in a little bit deeper to how you know you might have tongue tension and what you can do to sort of resolve these issues that might come up. The first thing I want you to do is just take a check underneath your jaw where the fleshy part is, and I just want you to sing very simple in your middle range. We can do oh, and feel if that gets hard. Okay, so if you feel something like this, oh, I'm showing you really exaggerated what tongue tension might look like, because you could see that this root of my tongue was pushing down my thumb. Otherwise you have oh. Okay, so that's one way to tell if you have tongue tension. Another way tongue tension can creep into your singing is through the illusion of a beautiful, rich middle voice. And this is what I want you all to look at. I want you to look at your middle voices, and if you're hearing something really like big, warm, and rich, I'm not going to say it's completely wrong because I haven't heard you, but I'm going to say that that is someplace to look if you're also having problems in other parts of your range, okay? So if your low is cut off or if your high is cut off and you're feeling like that middle voice is really nice and warm and rich, that's a really big indicator that something wrong is happening there. And as you know from me, I don't believe that you can separate elements of vocal technique. However, I will say that the tongue is a super villain when it comes to registration. So it is always worth looking at the tongue first when you're having issues with balancing registration. So one way to kind of curb this insidious form of tongue tension that can creep in is by gaining an awareness and activation of your epiglottis. What is your epiglottis? Well, your epiglottis is a flap of cartilage that actually comes down and covers your larynx when you swallow so that food and drink don't go down into your windpipe. Okay, so it's a very important piece of material. We don't want to mess with that. Now, what can happen sometimes when we're singing is that the epiglottis can kind of get stuck in like a half down position. Okay, so we're actually activating some of our swallowing muscles without realizing it. And this can also create root of tongue tension in the back, or it can be sort of the root of tongue tension can be causing that epiglottis not to be fully up. So what I like to do is to create awareness in the back of the throat. And the first exercise I want to show you is kind of a strange one. And I want you to feel like you're gonna gag, okay? So if you kind of, you can sort of articulate the back of your throat almost in that like pre-vomit reflex. Try that. Yeah, like don't throw up. Okay, sorry if you did. So that's one way to kind of gain awareness of what's going on back there. And then what you can do from there is you can feel that, okay? And you can do, in that position, actually in the vomit position. I know, you're looking at me like, I'm supposed to sing like that? Yeah, you are. Okay, so try it because it is a little weird at first. So the difference between the sound of those two. So here's one without activating that epiglottis area. If I do, oh, again, it's a good sound. No one's going to complain. But I can already tell that that sound is actually costing me and costing some of my stamina and muscular coordination. And so if I went in to sing a longer piece, you might hear some fatigue issues because of that slight air drag, like I like to call it. So listen to what that sounds like next to the one with the epiglottis. So I will do the example of the one that we don't want, which is, oh, it feels beautiful and free, no activation, not right though. Okay, now listen to this one. Now that one has a little bit more presence, and it's harder to tell right in this area of the voice the difference. But I can tell you now that that second one, I felt this activation. Where if I did, I'm actually using helper muscles, which is not what we want. Now let's raise the stakes even higher so you can hear what happens if we activate the epiglottis correctly. So here's the first one that I'm not going to do anything, just normal. To be honest, again, it's still a good sound. Wait till we get a little higher and you'll hear what I'm talking about. That's still a good sound, but I can tell it's costing me. Now, let me show you when I activate the epiglottis. So much easier. Okay, this epiglottis is really, really important. So I'm going to give you an exercise right now, and it's for the root of the tongue and the epiglottis. Okay, we're going to go g, 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 g. Can you see that? G, 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 g. With the very back of the tongue, and we're going to go g, 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 g. If you sound like a regular singer, ga, 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 you're doing it wrong. G, 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 g. G, 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 now, I will warn you, please do not take this high. This is just a middle voice activation, okay? So you can kind of feel what's happening back there. Also, check under here. Make sure that's not getting hard. There you go. Okay, there's one exercise. Okay, the next exercise is super crazy. This one involves a cup of water. So get your cup of water out and we're gonna gargle, all right? So we're gonna take this and we're gonna, okay, put some water in our mouth. Whoops, I shouldn't drink that. Okay, you're gonna put some water in your mouth, then you're gonna gargle. And what I want you to do is you're going to gargle to the rhythm of a piece of music. Okay, so I'm gonna do, let's see, I have a concert this weekend, so I am going to sing the fast part of one of my Verdi arias, okay? Okay, I had to stop because I ran out of breath, but that's essentially what you want to do. And this actually trains two things, which is really great because it trains continuous airflow so that you are not, because obviously if you didn't keep the breath going, you would aspirate water and that just wouldn't be good. So your body automatically has a reflex to keep the airflow going. But it also helps you train that back area, because how often do we gargle? I mean, I know a couple people that maybe use mouthwash every night and gargle mouthwash, although I've always found that kind of, I don't know, sort of like burning. But I know people who gargle salt water every night, but unless you're doing it regularly, we kind of don't have access to that area. So that's another really great exercise that you can do. The other thing that I would like to say is a way of thinking about the epiglottis. I want you to imagine a funnel in the back of your throat so that the tongue, the very back of the tongue, comes together and sort of forms a funnel. And so all of your sound is coming up like this, and then expands outward. Okay, so if you feel that the back of the throat, where the base of the tongue is very skinny and narrow. It's, I actually feel like that is in direct opposition to this idea of like the relaxed tongue. I don't disagree with the relaxed tongue, like contrary. I really, really believe in the relaxed tongue. It's just how you have to go about and get it is very different for some people. And I don't believe that one way works for everybody. So I hope that if you give this a try, and you will find things that help you with your tongue tension. Another exercise I like to do for tongue tension is slides with my tongue out. Now I noticed at the top, when I was kind of gasping a little too much air, I felt my tongue want to retract. So you want to notice those spots, okay? So how I would work with that is I would go, and I'd kind of go slower into it and resist the airflow, okay? So you're really going out with the tongue and very insistent out with it. Like, it's going to want to retract, and you just say, no, and you just keep it out, okay? So, all right, that's a really good exercise, and it will help you realize where the resonance should be, okay? Because if you're just feeling like you're splatting everything, and you'll really catch it with the tongue out, because you won't have other helping, like mouth shaping, pharyngeal shaping, to kind of even that out for you. And now if your tongue is just super stubborn and you're like, there is just no way that it's going to stay out of my mouth when I'm doing that slide, then I recommend you do the really gross thing, and you wash your hands and you take your tongue and you hold your tongue like this. And that will help, because you'll also feel, that was really gross, but you'll also feel where the tongue wants to kind of activate, because you'll feel with your fingers where little parts of the tongue are moving. So I hope that these exercises were helpful for you, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments how this worked for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.